son of a bitch, I completely forgot to write her name and channel tag. Turns out, shit, I forgot to tell you that we're gonna be doing a check-in. This is the shit that you need to work out in your life before you start filming. Okay? Get your head together. Right there. Jesus Christ. I am going to start. Get your shit together. How can I not understand this? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm really pumped. This is going to be my first collaboration. I have been in communication with this girl for probably almost the beginning of my channel. She is the sweetest thing, and I reached out to her because she actually won one of my giveaways, and ever since then we've just been talking. So I'm collaborating today with Miss Danielle from Glamburger. I will put her link right up here. Make sure you go and check out her channel because she is going to be posting her version of this video as well. So today we're going to be putting some makeup to the test. We are going to be pairing off some of the most expensive makeup that I own on half of my face and some of the most affordable makeup that I own on the other half of my face. We are also going to be doing a wear test. We are going to be checking in at the 4-hour mark to see how things are holding up, and then we're also going to be checking in at the 8-hour mark to see how things are holding up. So if you want to see how things turn out and if the really expensive makeup beats out the affordable makeup, then keep watching. We are going to start with this half of the face. I am going to do in all of the affordable products. So I'm going to start with eye primer. I am going to use the Essence I Love Color, and it doesn't really have a shade. For the high-end side, I am going to use the Makeup by Mario, the Prep and Set, and this is in the shade medium, and it is P3. Okay, so my thoughts on that. This one is nice and hydrating, so it doesn't give you, like, I have very dry eyes, so sometimes I can get like a little bit of dryness right in there, and it'll skip a little bit. So it did not do that on this side. However, this side, the higher end side with the Makeup by Mario, definitely cancels out more color that I have on my eyes. Let's move on to my eyebrows. I am not going to do these on camera or I will be here forever. For my more affordable side, I am going to use the NYX Microfine Brow Pencil, and it is in the shade Ash Brown. For my more bougie side, I am going to use the Charlotte Tilbury's Brow Cheat, and I use dark brown. I'll be right back. Okay, so this side has the NYX brow pencil and this side has the Charlotte Tilbury brow pencil. What I can say is, obviously, one's a little lighter than the other. I think I need the shade down in the Charlotte Tilbury. The NYX did not put out so much color, which is a good thing but a bad thing. The Brow Cheat puts out so much color that you kind of have to blend it really good so that it doesn't look like just one blocky eyebrow, but at the same time you don't get quite the payoff with the NYX, so you have to work a little harder. So I can't say a bad thing about either one of them. I really love them both. I think the Charlotte Tilbury is more or less, I need to get a different color. We are going to be moving on to facial primer. So for my affordable side, I am going to be using by Pixie. It is called the Flawless Beauty Filter Hydrating Glow Primer. That side, nice, glowy, very pretty. I mean, it didn't do much for blurring any imperfections, but I do like the nice glow that it gives. My skin, they say every 7 years or so, your skin changes. Well, I don't know what the hell. Okay, sorry. For this side, I am going to be using the Tatcha Perfect Canvas. I've used it many times, so. Anyway, so my skin used to be super oily. Foundations would just slide around on my skin. But as of late, my skin is so dry. I don't know what's going on. I have moved from gel-like primers, or gel-like moisturizers, like the Drunk Elephant Proteiny Peptide, all the way up to the richest Tatcha cream that I could find. Get really, really bad dryness around here. You just can't win. So obvious differences. This one's more glowy, probably should have thought it out a little bit more. And this one is a little bit more blurred. I love my Tatcha Perfect Canvas, so to me, I like this one better. However, this one, not knowing how it's going to hold foundation, I do like the nice glow. I guess it just really depends on how you're feeling or what you like out of your primer. Here's the big one. The one that everybody probably cares about, the eyeshadow palettes. So for my more expensive eyeshadow palette, I am going to be using the Natasha Denona Glam palette. Been used, she's been well loved, full of beautiful browns and just super neutral colors. What's it going up against? Why, Colourpop, of course. The Colourpop Stone Cold Foxy Nightmare. Trying to find two palettes that I felt matched appropriately that I could use. Nightmare. Here is your Stone Cold Fox palette. It is not the cheapest of the Colourpop palettes. However, it's giant for one, and it has very similar cool toned shades in it. Okay, so I am going to start out. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to try and do step by step so that you can see the color comparisons next to one another. So I will do one step on the eye and then I will do the other eye with the high end. I'm going to start out with the shade right here. It is called Quarry Days, and from the Natasha Denona palette, I am going to use Blend. Up here is Colourpop, and then there is your Natasha Denona. Here's your Colourpop, Quarry Days. I can say I'm noticing more of being able to see my darkness under my eyeshadow, the lid where it didn't get covered up with the primer. So just a notation. Moving on to the Natasha Denona Blend side. There's your Natasha Denona. Colors aren't 100% exact, but I think once I'm done, you're not really going to be able to see it anyway because it's all going to be blended together. can I say Natasha Denona went on extremely smooth. I had a little bit more trouble with the Colourpop. I'm not sure if it is the eye primer or if it is the Colourpop formula. Normally I don't have any issues with a Colourpop formula. So if I had to guess, I would say it would be the eye primer. Next, I'm going to move on to a deeper shade. So I am moving on to Fickle Fate in the Colourpop palette, and I am moving on to the shade Smoke, the Natasha Denona palette. Again, not 100% exact, but they're pretty damn close. Okay. Starting off with the Colourpop side. Okay, moving on to Natasha Denona. Okay, so that is the deeper transition. The Colourpop really was impressive. It gave me a really big color payoff with very little. I think I dipped into the Fickle Fate shade twice as opposed to the Smoke shade. I kind of had to build it up a little bit. And the last deeper color, I'm going to just kind of add a little bit more definition just to the outer corner. I am using Drama Mama in the Colourpop palette, and I am using the shade Lash Line in Natasha Denona. So here is your Natasha Denona shade, and then there is the Drama Mama from Colourpop. Okay, so that is my Colourpop side. Now I'm going to dip into Lash Line from Natasha Denona. So I think that's where I'm going to stop for Drama. So I think I'm going to do kind of a rosy goldish on the lid. So I am going to go into Colourpop's Baby Doll, and then I am going to go into Natasha Denona, and it's called Center Eyelid. Here is the Natasha Denona, and then down here is your Colourpop. Starting with Colourpop. This is a dry brush. I did not wet it, just so you can see the color payoff. Okay, and now I'm going to dip into Natasha Denona's Center Eyelid. Again, dry brush. I mean, they look darn near identical on the eyeball. Both gave amazing pigmentation without wetting the brush. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. So that is where I am going to stop as far as darkness. The only other thing that I want to do is I want to add a pop of brow bone. In the Colourpop, I am going to go into the shade I Dig It. And then in Natasha Denona, I am going to dip into the shade Inner Corner. It's a little more gold than the Colourpop, but again, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. So here is the shade Inner Corner from Natasha Denona, and then there is the shade I Dig It from Colourpop. starting with the Colourpop side, I am just gonna add a little bit there, and then take my finger and blend it out a little. Okay, and then going into inner corner from Natasha Denona. Go. Here's your Colourpop side, and then here is your Natasha Denona side. So moving on from the palettes for now, I will say both of them were super good as far as fallout. That is all the fallout that I got. That is from both under eyes and from me sharpening a little bit, so I have more of a sharp edge on the outer corner. So we are going to move on to liquid liners. I'm a felt tip liner girl, love my felt tip liner. So on my more affordable side, we are going to be using Essence eyeliner pen. And then on my high-end bougie side, we are going to be using Miss Pat McGrath. Down here is my Essence side. It's a little bit not as deep as my Pat McGrath. And then this is Pat. We will start with the Essence and move on to Pat. Okay, so here is my Essence side. I obviously did a wing. It went on really smoothly, no trouble. It was really easy to do a wing with it. Now we're going to move on to Pat. Okay, here is your Pat McGrath side. It was super, I love my Pat, so it was really easy to use. Essence, I had to go back in and kind of go over it again to try and get a little bit more intensity out of it, since Pat is so deep and crisp. Okay, so I am going to do inner liner on the top rim. So I am going to go in, and I know that I love this. This was in one of my best dupes video before. On this side, I am going to do the Essence Extreme Lasting Liner in the shade Black Love. And then for my more expensive side, I'm going to go in with Marc Jacobs gel liner, and it is in the shade Blacker. Let's go in with the Essence. It is nice and sharp. Now I am going to go in with my Marc Jacobs gel liner. Okay, that is the Marc Jacobs. Super easy, super creamy, great liner. Used it a million times. Next, we are going to move on to mascara. On my affordable side, we are going to go in with Covergirl's Total Tease. And then it is pairing off against my all-time favorite mascara, but probably the most expensive mascara I own, which is the Dior Iconic Overcurl. However, it is giving a pretty nice payoff. So I'm not going to spend too much time. It's going underneath my lashes anyway. So let's dive into my Dior. I mean, there's no question. Look at the Dior side. Okay, for foundation, We are going to be pairing off on the more affordable side, the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation against the most expensive foundation that I own, the La Mer, the Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation. This is my all-time favorite foundation. Love it. The LYS. So here is the LYS foundation. It is a very beautiful buildable coverage. Let's dive into the beauty that is the La Mer foundation. I even love the way this smells. Here is the La Mer side, and then here is the LYS side. Definitely more coverage on the La Mer side. Next, we are going to be doing my concealer. What is the most affordable concealer I own, you ask? The e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Going up against the most expensive concealer that I own in the high end, which is the By Terry Hyaluronic Acid Concealer. I have used this a few times. I know off the bat I'm not a huge fan of it. Let's start out with the e.l.f. side. And then we're going to go in with the hyaluronic acid concealer. I really do not like this applicator tip. Neither of them cover like my Tarte does, but that is as good as we're going to get. My eyes, I'm actually going to set with a pressed powder because the only affordable loose powder I had is a banana powder. So I'm going to use on my affordable side, it is the number 7 triple action finishing powder. So I'm going to go in with a very light hand. See, it's already creasing. Do you see it? Ugh. Okay, so that is the number 7. It's so pretty. And for my bougie side, we are going to go in with none other than Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless Airbrush Powder. Alrighty, so for my loose powder, the only affordable one that I had that was even close to my shade was the Morphe Bake and Set powder in Banana. Some steep competition, guys, because this is one of my all-time favorite powders. The La Prairie Skin Caviar Powder. This powder is breathtakingly beautiful. See what the Morphe, that's not too bad. That's not bad. Okay, so there's the Morphe side. It's actually very pretty. This is the first time I've used it, like I said, so not bad. All right, let's dip into the heaven that is known, the La Prairie. Again, that smell. I mean, as you can see, there's no comparison. Moving on to bronzer. It is the Morphe Glam Bronze Face and Body Bronzer. You can see she got a dip in there. The closest thing that I could find to that shade was the Patrick Ta Cream Contour, and she's statuesque. So this is the Morphe. It's a little more yellow, and then up there is the Patrick Ta. Let's go in with the Morphe. Oh, I just love that beautiful warmth that it brings to the skin. Okay, so there is the Morphe side. Now I am going to dust my brush off, and then I am going to go into the Patrick Ta powder side of She's Statuesque. Take it up into my forehead. So I'm going to put lashes on. I'm using the same lashes. It would look ridiculous if I used two different sets of lashes. So Kiss Lash Luxe extensions in Classic. So let me pop those on and I'll be right back. Okay guys, lashes on. Next, I am going to move on to blush. I really wanted to do my best to try and match colors. So that being said, I went with, for the more affordable side, I went with the Milani blush in Dolce Pink. I matched this to one that has been so popular and was sold out for so long, the Wayne Goss, the Weightless Veil Blush Palette in Coral Rose. It does lean more on the coral side, as to where the Milani has just a hint of pink to it. So here is your Milani blush, and then there is your Wayne Goss. You can see this has a little bit of pink to it. It does look a little bit closer when it goes on the cheek. I'm gonna start with my Milani side. A little bright, probably a little heavy-handed. Does look pretty darn close. So for highlighter. So for my affordable side, I am going to go in with Milani. This is the baked highlighter, and it is Dolce Perla. And a very overpriced highlighter, if you ask my opinion. But it is the Elsie highlighter, and it's the Skin Reflector highlighter, and it is in Pearly Glaze. There are your highlighters. See, this one has a variety of different shades. So obviously you can start with the more gold and you get that kind of shade, or you can go in with the icy and you get more of a pop of icy silver. This is the highlight from Milani. So obviously those two are the closest. Start with the Milani and just pop it right in there. And then let's go in with the Elsie. So as you can see, they're both pretty close. Call me a cheater. It's whatever. I swatched so many different lipsticks and I got the shits of it. So I'm saying screw it, and I'm just gonna put on a plain old sparkly gloss. I'm using one of my favorite sparkly gloss. So shout out to my girl, Samantha March. I am using Millie by Ofra. All right, guys, so it is around 11. It is around 11 a.m. right now. So I am going to check in at the 4-hour mark and see where we are and try and catch some natural light. And then I will pop in at the 8-hour mark and we will see where we are. And we're going to see which one held up the best. And I am going to have a total for each side of my face to see just how much they can differ. And if you ask me, it looks pretty much identical each side. I will see you guys soon. Okay guys, here is my, ooh, that's bright, 4-hour check-in. Here is your more affordable side. It's holding up pretty well. And then here is your luxury side. Again, seems to be holding up pretty well. It is now 13, if you can see that. So it's been on for just over a little bit over 4 hours. Other than a little bit of perspiration, it seems to be holding up really well. So I will see you guys in another 4 hours. Hey guys, okay, so I completely suck at life. And I forgot to film my final thoughts on the affordable side versus the high luxury side. I got pictures, but I forgot to film it. And then I got really sick. So, poor Danielle over at Glamburger. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I suck. So, however, I do have thoughts. And I have photos that I will be inserting so you guys can see the difference. I got to the end of the 8 hours and these were my final results or photos that I captured. I am going to insert the high end right here. You can see that there is some areas that it started to dissipate around my mouth area. Very little, but it was 8 hours. So it did start to come off a little bit. And then I am going to insert the photo of my more affordable brands. Again, it definitely started to pick up. Looking in the mirror, the affordable brand definitely came off quicker than the more high-end brand did, and I will make sure that I put photos up here next to one another so that you can see the difference. In my opinion, is a face worth, I calculated it. All in all, the total for my affordable brand was $156. The total for my high-end brand was $897. So you decide which one is worth it. Do you need all that expensive makeup to create the look that we created? No. But do I enjoy my luxury brands? Yes. The big ones that were standouts that I feel like even with my more affordable brand, I could not get the same results was definitely my foundation. My foundation, my and the eyeshadow palette. There was just something so special and just such a feeling about using a Natasha Denona palette that you really cannot beat. And the La Mer foundation, unfortunately, I that is one of my holy grails. So that foundation to me is probably one of the best foundations I've ever tried. However, you do not need, I cannot stress that enough, you do not need those products to create the look, obviously, that we created. So it is very possible to create that look on a budget. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Danielle, God bless you because you've been waiting. Please make sure that you head over to Danielle's channel over here on Glamburger. I will also insert her Instagram for you guys to go check out. She is so sweet. She's so nice. And I really think that you will enjoy her channel. She's a little bit more toned down than I am with all that other kind of stuff. So if you enjoy me, you'll enjoy her. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this video helped you see you don't need the high end to create a luxury look. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.